name is Mir from Mir's View channel.
And I'm Lisa from her channel.
So Lisa has been in my video for the previous one, and then it was so much fun like collaborating with her, so we decided to kind of continue the series, so she'll be on for this video as well. Today what we want to talk about is the appeal letter. So right now the timing is early actions and early decision applicants got either accepted or rejected, but deferred as well. So this video is for the deferred students. Deferred students, please don't be sad. There's tons of things that you can do to get accepted further. It's not that you got rejected, so you're on a really good side. We'll go over the sample appeal letter today, and we'll kind of note one by one and then help you get along the way how we should get a better appeal letter than this.
Okay, let's start with the title.
Yes.
So the title says Appeal Letter for Chloe Choi.
Okay, so
what do you think?
The problem of this title is that it's very vague and it's too stoic. So in order for this letter to get the attention of the admission officer, that you want to have the title that's very specific to you, and then that kind of grabs an eye attention.
Yeah, especially if you have a last name like Choi, Kim, Lee, like there are so many of you. I'm not saying that it's bad to have a common last name, but I'm just saying there's a lot of you. So to make it more specific, because you don't want another Chloe Choi getting credit for your work, right? So you want to add the ID number that you applied with, so that it's more clear that that is you.
And what is a sample good title to give?
Well, I put something like a letter of demonstrated interest from Chloe Choi, and put parentheses and put your application number, so it's very clear what you're writing about, who you are, and what you want out of this letter.
Dear admissions officer, last week I met an and talked to a professor and discovered some cool programs and traditions at your school. I did not think it was possible, but I fell even more in love with MIT College. Alright, so the problem here, who are we talking about?
Well, first of all, the person was kind of rude. There was no hi, hello, how are you doing, nice to meet you, any of that. But just like talking to someone you've never met before, you don't want to lead with, hey, I want to be in your college, you know? You want to lead with some sort of hi, I applied, but I got deferred, or some sort of an introduction. Okay, let's continue. I appreciate you considering my application to MIT College, and I'm excited for the second chance you've given me in the regular decision round. MIT College remains my top choice school for many reasons.
Okay.
Actually, I really like this because it tells you exactly what you want, but I would even move this up to the top because this provides a nice intro that we were just talking about. For early decision applicants, it's obvious that that's your top choice school, but if you applied early action, it's not always that obvious. So you want to tell the school, if you admit me, I'm gonna go, because that retention rate is crucial for colleges, so it's important for them to know that you're really interested.
Alright, so we'll continue. Since submitting my early application, here are some notable changes and achievements I've made. I won first place at a writing competition. Well, first of all, let's note this. These are bullet points. So I really like bullet points. So the format that we want to pursue is paragraph, bullet point, paragraph, so that we know exactly what kind of things you've done after you submitted your first application. Alright, so the first bullet points that we have is I won first place at a writing competition.
So there are 100 billion writing competitions that you could have won first place in. You could have won first place in at some sort of an elementary school thing by posing as an elementary student, but you want to be very specific. What kind of competition? What did you write about? How did you write it? Just make it very specific so that they know you're telling the truth. Second one, I joined a fundraising club for blind children and donated $687 for them. Well, right off the bat, I like that you put an amount, a dollar amount. But the most important thing in a resume format or something like this is that you put your bullet points in a cause and effect form. This means I raised this much and then I did this with that money. So just saying I donated it doesn't really say a whole lot. So you want to say something like, did you make an after school program? Did you buy art supplies? What did you do? How is this money used, and how did you contribute back to the society?
And third bullet points. I maintained a GPA of 3.9 during my senior year of high school, which brings my cumulative GPA to 3.86. This student, if that student was kind of lacking the GPA in the first application, this is a really good thing to do, because you want to note what you were lacking and then kind of improve on that point. Only emphasize what you did well and what your strengths are.
Okay, next part. I also researched more about your school, and I think my previous experiences of debating at MUN would really make me a good candidate for your school. What do you think about this?
I don't like this word. So that's a key word that we should avoid. previous. So what we want to say here, if you have stated this NUN previously in your application, then you don't want to repeat it. And the reason why your application is getting deferred is it's not reaching the accepted level, which means that if you want to mention some things that it was already in your previous application.
And then we conclude with, I know there are many qualified applicants to your school for this application cycle, but I hope that I'll be able to be accepted as a part of your class of 2020. Thank you.
Okay. For some part, it's very simple and to the point, but for some part, it can also be added few more points. So what are those points that we can add?
So first of all, I think it'd be good if you can link the points that we made back to this part. So say like, oh, I fundraised for a club for blind children, and if I go to your school, I can also do that because there's a program for fundraiser, or there's a big community for fundraising. So I'll apply the skills that I've learned to bettering your school and your school community. So just tie it back to a full circle, back to your community, back to your school, so that they know you're genuine about why you want to attend this college.
So what Lisa just stated is really important. You want to strengthen your strengths. So whatever you put and whatever you did from that time on until now, and you want to emphasize that into what you can do for the school.
And aside from that, I think that's a nice wrap for the letter. It's not as rude as how you started, and it's kind of friendly too.
How long should the appeal letter be?
This one is very like enlarged the font so that you guys can read better, but typically an appeal letter should be about this long.
So this is around 3/4 of a page.
Because you don't want to be hit with like a 4-page appeal letter, because chances are they're not going to read it, and you're going to seem a little too extra and not in a good way.
If you have a supplement, and if you've already kind of submitted the supplement before, what do we recommend for the supplements?
Well, so by supplements, we're talking about things like audition portfolio, CDs, like different kind of portfolios, music or art. But chances are you already submitted this during your actual application back in the day. And unless your school specifically asked for it, like I suggest don't, because as I said, they don't have time and they don't want to like go through the trouble of putting in a CD, like watch it, like they just don't have time. Their chances are they're not going to read it, and if anything, their website's going to specify whether or not they want more supplements from you. And if they say they don't and you still do it anyways, you're just a student who can't follow directions.
The reason why we're kind of not recommending for the appeal letter itself is that if you're really good enough to submit a supplement, you've probably already did for your early application. Within that like few months of time, it's very unlikely that your ability got like, kind of.
I mean, if it did, that's really weird. Like, what did you do? Like, did you outsource it somewhere? Like art and music is not something you can improve in like 2 months,
Yes, and even though you didn't submit a supplement then, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh yeah, I was good at art. All of a sudden, and that's also weird too. So if you're already submitted during the early application, you don't need to submit it again. And if you have not, that means you've really not considered it as your strengths, so don't do it either. So either way, it's not recommended to do a supplement of art or music or whatever it is if it's not your major. So as a conclusion, we've touched on a few points. So the first point we touched on was title.
Title should be very specific, to the point, and it should have your name and ID number so they don't have to go searching for you.
And the first paragraph should include your introduction.
Be nice, you want to seem friendly, you don't want to be like that one kid who's really rude.
Yes. And the format should be the paragraph, bullet, paragraph. And the bullet should include what you've done after you submitted your early application until now.
And don't repeat anything you've already submitted, any points you've already made, like it's moot.
And for the bullet points, be pretty specific, don't be vague. Put whatever the specific competition you've done, specific activity, and if needed, you can include a sub bullet points to explain further.
And make sure whatever you say ties back to the grand theme of why the school is a good fit for you.
The length of the appeal letter should be 3/4 of the letter page. An extra supplement is not recommended.
Nope.
So deferred students, please don't be sad. There's still a lot that you can do, and there's so many students, and I've seen so many of my friends who got deferred and got accepted to the top college. So please don't be sad.
I mean, especially this year, there are so many students getting deferred.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. But on a good note, congratulations to all of those got accepted. Woo-hoo! I'm sure it was your dream school because you applied early, and congratulations, all your hard work has really paid off.
Congrats. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. And if this video was helpful, please like and subscribe.
And turn your notifications on.
Bye everyone, thank you for
Bye.
watching.